Hello, I'm Colleen Holder and this is Let's Talk Tobago. Today we're in Bacalet at the St. Joseph's Roman Catholic Church, otherwise known as the Scarborough RC. The Catholic Church has had a presence on this island since the 1860s, but didn't always have a physical church. In fact, this is one of the earliest, established around 1892. According to records, the church's first baptism, that of Catherine Cray, happened in 1870 by Dominican priest Reverend Father Andre Viole. You'll find out a bit more about the Catholic Church and its history in Tobago right after we tell you what's happening in our stories this week. Increasing the island's room stock, a new hotel will be built along Rockley Bay in the quiet fishing village of Lambeau. Locals get their say as Invest TT seeks to capture the essence of the people in Brand, Trinidad and Tobago. And Fort King George gets a health, science and technology museum.
My name is Kathy Anthony Mohan. My business is 3K's Cleanings. Before, we tried to buy a power washer 3 times, but this time around, we got a check exactly to go and get what we needed. It was all fun and interesting, and it was new to me because going to a government to get help is not an easy thing. Getting through, it was really, really helpful. If you need help, you can go and get a grant, and it will help you a great deal.
Redefining business. Protecting Tobago's heritage.
You're viewing Let's Talk Tobago. Thanks for staying with us here at the Scarborough RC Church. An interesting fact about the church is that it once shared the building with the Anglican Church when their church building was destroyed by Hurricane Flora in 1963. And while we're on the topic about the importance of physical spaces, as a visitor to Tobago, you'd want to know you have a place to stay and your stay is a comfortable one in an atmosphere that's inviting and relaxing. Well, both local and foreign investors are responding to the call for more rooms so that this island can attract even more tourists to destination Tobago. Omadara Mills spoke with the investor behind the soon-to-be newest hotel in Tobago. And as she found out, it'll be ready for winter 2015.
From aquamarine to azure to indigo, all shades of blue which visitors will be able to see when the Indigo Blue Hotel is built along Rockley Bay in the quiet fishing village of Lambeau on the site of the old palm tree village. One of the major shareholders in the hotel's $112 million construction is Christopher James, who is also the president of the Tobago Hotel and Tourism Association.
The reason we did it is because Tobago is short of rooms. We need 1,500 additional rooms in Tobago to make tourism economically sustainable and to continue the airlift.
With 79 suites, the 4-star hotel will feature 2 restaurants, a swimming pool with a bar area, and some designs which will allow persons to take in the island's natural beauty.
The interiors will reflect the nature of Tobago. So we're having very rustic kind of furniture that makes people feel that they're outside even though they're inside. And using maximum light, all the front of the building is glass. To use maximum light so people can really enjoy the sunshine and relax.
The 18-month construction is expected to start soon and finish in time for the winter 2015 period. Mr. James says that the hotel will add variety to the types of niche markets available on the island.
We've gone for a very trendy design. There's a demand for what they call hip hotels, and that's the style we're doing. So the furnishings and the style of the hotel will be a bit unusual for Tobago, and it's to cater for that younger crowd, mainly couples, but it's open to all.
In addition to calling for more quality rooms on the island and negotiating for more flights, the THA has been investing in marketing and the branding of the island so as to boost the tourist arrivals. I'm Omadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
But more rooms are only part of the equation for Tobago. The real work starts with name recognition. There's an organization working to ensure both Tobago and Trinidad get their name out there, but it doesn't end there. Invest TT is also developing a national identity for the country. The idea is that this new brand will be used consistently by all who promote the Twin Island, and it will inspire and provide a framework that will drive investment across all sectors identified for development. Let's find out from Davia Chambers what happened when their branding committee came to Tobago.
Whether it's a small village or even an island, branding is important. It captures the attention of your target market easily. But what some don't realize is that everyone influences a brand one way or the other, and Invest TT wants to ensure this island is aware of this. So, to create an authentic brand for our country to attract foreign investment, tourism and brand export, they consulted with the public to gather information. They want to know what makes citizens proud to call Trinidad and Tobago their own.
The genuine warmth of our people. You can go anywhere in Tobago and for sure the doors will be open. Take any harvest, for example. You're more than welcome in anybody's home. They will offer you all their food, everything basically. We are warm and giving people, and that makes me proud to be Trinidad and Tobagoan.
It's diversity. And diversity in terms of the eco, the people, the cuisine, the culture. So that in one word, diversity is what provides that great feeling.
And who they are most proud of.
I'll say Jehu Gordon because of the high level of achievement that he has reached, his modesty, and I think he's displaying something that youths will emulate.
Other questions included which aspect of our culture is admired, the best songs of the nation, and what event are they most proud of. Invest TT wants to develop a national identity which will be used in the promotion of services, exports, investment offerings, and foreign relations. It's also hoped this branding will capture the essence of the people and the country. 2 consultations have been held, this one in Signal Hill and another in Argyle. I'm Davia Chambers for Let's Talk Tobago.
The healthcare system, particularly the hospital in Tobago, has come a long way. This island has progressed significantly from the days of the colonial outfit at Fort King George to a state-of-the-art facility at Signal Hill. It's a history spanning over a century, encompassing changing medical equipment and modern practices. It's also a story worth sharing and one which can now be seen and felt at this island's newly opened health museum.
Have you ever seen baby scales, basins, or cardiac monitors used by hospital personnel during the 19th century? Well, these are some of the medical equipment which visitors can see when they visit the Health, Science and Technology Museum at Fort King George. And with more than 60 objects, there's a lot more to learn.
Microscopes, surgical instruments, and other items such as the gold badge and commemorative medals that were presented to the first matron of color for the Tobago Colonial Hospital. The historical archive will house photographs, illustrations, and documents related to health and medicine.
But the museum does not only contain the equipment used. It contains the history of some of the persons who helped to transform the healthcare system into what it is today.
The establishment of the museum also provides the opportunity to recognize members of the medical and nursing staff who have been working at the TRHA since its inception in 1995.
One of the museum's visitors, who worked as a nurse since 1966, gives her view of the changes over the century.
You would see what the older folks had to work with in providing health care. And when we compare it with what we have today, we recognize that we've come a long way.
Themed from golden years to platinum, moving towards the diamond standards, the unveiling event signals the importance Tobagonians are placing on documenting all aspects of their heritage. I'm Omodara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
We're taking a break, but do stay with us to find out why lighting an outdoor fire can lead to a disaster and land you in trouble well until June.
Sit Tobago, ready to provide your community with the highest degree of professional services in emergency response. Contact SIT Mariah at 660-0065 or SIT Speyside at 660-6096. SIT 24-hour services, emergencies, medical or other. Search Pro, the new face of emergency management.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Tobago. Today we're at the Scarborough Roman Catholic Church in Bacolette. The sacrament of penance and reconciliation or confession is one of 7 sacraments of the Catholic Church. Now this confessional is far removed from the confessional booth many are accustomed to, but it's here many parishioners come to seek absolution for their sins. Now there's that cliched saying, failing to prepare is preparing to fail, but as overused as it is, most successful people recognize the worth of the advice. Plan, plan, plan. It's the only way to succeed. That's what Tobago did when it commissioned a 5-year economic plan. It's the reference tool the island will use as it seeks to ramp up development. Here's a snapshot of its contents.
This is Tobago's roadmap to sustainable development for the period 2013 to 2017. The advice contained within these pages will continue to guide this island's economic policy over the next 4 years. But the best laid plans are nothing if the people it's intended for do not understand it. This is where Dr. Ralph Henry of Kariri Consultants comes in. His firm was instrumental in putting this together, so who best to explain to the employees of the Division of Settlements and Labor their role in making it a success.
Your regulatory role in Tobago has to go much beyond what the Ministry of Labor has as its regulatory role for Trinidad and Tobago. And some of the issues, productivity, the issue of training and education, the human resource development, these are critical issues in the transformation of Tobago.
But he wants the division to understand that the transformation the plan is advocating requires going the extra mile.
And you just cannot look at it solely in terms of, well, whether we have a labor inspectorate that investigates, whether labor standards are being observed, whether minimum wages, etc., are being applied, etc. And, we cannot afford a weak-kneed approach to the planning of labor in Tobago.
And as he delved into details that related directly to their mandate, Dr. Henry says there must be systems and forecasting that won't allow tenants who live in homes provided by the division to not pay rent or mortgage as is required. Last year, the Tobago House of Assembly adopted this report, which speaks to the urgency to transform and diversify the economy of Tobago. I'm Davia Chambers for Let's Talk Tobago.
We just heard how critical that public sector agency is to Tobago, but let's shed some light on an organization that's ensuring individuals and families on this island live comfortable and dignified lives. Omar Mills gives us an insight into one of the NGOs which dedicates time and effort to helping the young people of Tobago.
This is 29-year-old Tricia Jack with her 2 children and a niece. Some years ago, Tricia was fortunate to meet this woman, Colleen Holder, who assisted her in accessing clothes, tutors, and study materials so that she was able to get her O-level subjects. That's because Ms. Holder is the founder of CAMD, Caring for Adolescent Mothers and Disadvantaged Youth's Tobago chapter, an organization which provides clothes for those who need, directs youths to the relevant agencies who can provide them with financial or job assistance, and donates books for children.
Some of the schools, at the time they already didn't have a library, so we help a lot of youths in that area, so they have access to books when they go to school.
The founder of CAMD says she started the organization because she sees the need to help many of the single parents in Tobago. In addition to providing material items, recipients also get career guidance and a lot of moral support.
We encourage healthy lifestyle and strong moral characters. We also enhance them with their self-esteem and we promote leisure time activities as a mean of developing their social skills.
Since its inception in 2006, the organization has helped over 400 persons. Tricia, who received clothes, books, and help in the right direction, is grateful there's an organization like this on the island.
It's a good thing because sometimes you have people out there that need help, and sometimes it's just like a mother alone or a father alone. So then they help with the clothes, it could be a good thing. Because remember, things going up all the time, go in the grocery, sometimes the clothes, sometimes you ain't getting the money on time, and so it's a very good thing.
The THA acknowledges the importance of CAMD in helping to create a better society. As such, the Assembly ensures that the organization has a place to store the clothes, books, and other materials that they distribute. I'm Umadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
And as CAMD and others work at keeping Tobago the paradise it is, did you know the simple act of disposing your cigarette butt out of a car window can cause some of that hard work to go up in flames? It might sound like we're scaring you, but Tobago is in the midst of what's known as the bushfire season. And that simple act can start a fire which can rapidly increase 10 times every 10 seconds. Here are some more details from Davia Chambers.
Many human practices can start a bushfire during the dry season, which is also bushfire season in both Trinidad and Tobago. It runs from December 1st to the following June 30th. Therefore, it's very important for Tobagonians to act responsible during this time.
Lighting outdoor fires during the fire season is a no-no. If you must light an outdoor fire, there are particular measures that you must institute. To start with, you must have a permit. And that permit can be gotten at the Fire Prevention Department or through one of the fire guardians.
He says to keep Tobago fire-free, persons must be aware of the common mistakes they make.
Over recent times, we have been noticing that people take the opportunity, especially people that do work along the roadways, clean the beaches and so on, even in the fire season, exercise no precaution. They make these large rubbish heaps and they light them. When you look at what the smoke from these rubbish heaps does to the roadway in terms of visibility, huge obscurity.
Not only can that occur, but there are health concerns as well. Officer Thomas has another option.
If you must light, you could find a drum, put it in the stuff in a drum and light in the drum. That eliminates fire spread immediately.
Persons can also store rubbish bins and other flammable items away from buildings, ensuring all windows and doors can close and seal to prevent smoke from entering buildings, and pruning tree limbs that are lower than 2 meters above the ground. Failure to obtain a permit during this season carries a fine of $1,500 or 6 months imprisonment. I'm Davia Chambers for Let's Talk Tobago.
It's time to take another break, but on the other side, we'll introduce you to Tobago's next big names, the people you will want to watch out for.
Because of hard times, I was feeling kind of useless. Went into the city, I bought an oven and decided to open a little cake shop. I went into the office and I got a form, and the staff was very helpful, and they helped me make up the form and give me all different kind of information, and it was easy, very easy. I would say thanks to the Business Development Unit for all the assistance that they are giving to me.
Redefining business. Protecting Tobago's heritage.
This is Let's Talk Tobago. Thanks for staying with us here at the Scarborough Roman Catholic Church. The primary school and a convent, which became a private secondary school, were established by the church to help spread its teachings. Now, while the primary school is still functioning, the secondary school closed its doors in 2006, but reopened last year, albeit with a slightly different mandate. Today, what stands there is the St. Joseph's Convent Tobago Retreat and Holistic Development Center. But let's leave these confines to take you to the world of cricket to tell all fans of this sport that the cricket season has officially started here on this island. Yes, it even got a head start on the sister isle. Their season doesn't begin until next month, and this year there's a lot to look forward to. Here's why.
The Tobago 2014 cricket season bowled off in January with its two-day championship league. But this year, the Tobago Cricket Association is expecting an extremely active year, increasing the interest in the sport on the island.
I must give the Tobago Cricket Association some props for starting the season this early. I know that our sisters or brothers in Trinidad, they are going to start on the first weekend of February. So we have started 2 weekends before our brothers in Trinidad, which was not the case in the last 10 years or more. And the plans, of course, for this year will be, of course, to complete the season and hope that we can have some good competitive cricket, have some good scores coming out.
With that said, 2 regional cricket tournaments will take place here.
We have the rights to host the regional under-17 tournament, which will be held in July. And again, we have actually will be hosting 2 regional Super 50 matches in February. We have not had any regional cricket in Tobago for the last 10 years. And that in itself is something that we will be looking forward to this year. Trinidad and Tobago will be playing against Leeward Islands, and then we will have CCC against Barbados.
But to build local cricket, the association has already planned for its 2020 and 40 overs competitions and wants to bring this other format to Tobago.
We are hoping that very soon we can start a discussion to have a 2020 festival, similar to what we had last month, where we had the Super Sixes in Louisdor, which was well attended by the public. I think that's what they want. They want that short, concise and precise sort of format, and I think the TCA are looking to do that for the 2020 competition this year.
This year sees the return of 4 teams from around the island. The Tobago House of Assembly is the major sponsor for the 2-day championship league. I'm Davia Chambers for Let's Talk Tobago.
This island's physical infrastructure is growing. Tobago has its fair share of sporting facilities, mini malls, health centers and housing developments. It's a deliberate attempt to invest in the people, but for a long time, a huge chunk of our population, our youth, felt left out. It's what has driven the establishment of youth spaces, and the newest addition promises to enhance the lives of residents in one rural community.
In the quiet forested village of Lansformy, there's now this structure, the first youth zone or youth-centered space in the north of Tobago, where young persons like these boys can sit and learn about the world around them without having to leave their village. The structure essentially allows them a space to grow.
We know how important it is to have youth. Once you have the youth involved, you know that your community will forever be ongoing.
This Y zone has a total space of 720 square feet, more than enough room for the 8 computers and a terrace, a feature which is unique to this youth zone in Lansformy, where young persons can enhance their dancing and musical abilities.
I trust, I believe, I know for a fact that this will not just be a building here that is going to be sitting by idly. They are going to make full use of it. I see that you should see yourself as being beacons for the communities in the north. And whatever you do here at this facility, make sure that your light shines and shine brightly, for you will stand as the exemplars for the other communities in the north.
The youth zone is the 4th one on the island. It has been constructed by the Division of Community Development and Culture at an approximate cost of $600,000. In addition to computer services, the division hopes to engage the youth in vocational programs, all in keeping with the division's vision of empowering people by transforming communities. I'm Umudara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
As a son of the soil, Sherwin Winchester has always had the support of Tobago throughout his musical career. But everyone knows it's not easy to break through in this industry. It's the reason he wanted to spare young Tobagonian artists the newbie pains. They have been given a chance to possibly work alongside him and be mentored by top producers. But they had to get past a 2-day audition in Scarborough and Glamorgan. 3 finalists rose to the top and are now working with him. Davia Chambers caught up with them to hear how it's working out.
American Idol gives upcoming singers the big break they need. So does The Voice. But now, Tobago is doing the same.
Yo! Can't control the feeling. The vibes take over me. On the road and I tripping. Sexy girl in front of me.
Whoa, sweet melodies they inspire me. Whoa, sweet soca music.
It's happening again. The girl and them take over. It's happening again. Them girls so hot like they need water. It's happening again. I waited for a very long time to see them sexy girl them on the road whining.
It isn't called the next Tobago Stars for no reason. These three singers, songwriters, are the next big names to look out for in the music industry on the island. They took the risk to enter Sherwin-Winchester's and the Division of Community Development and Culture's first star search, not knowing what the results will be, and it turned out successful.
When I heard that I won, I just broke out in tears. I was so grateful. I was just thanking everybody who selected me to be in the competition, and I was really grateful.
Well, hopefully many songs and videos, shows, and learning a lot of stuff, and hopefully meeting different people in different places and establishing a name for myself.
The three upcoming stars now have a year's recording contract with SW Limited, as well as vocal and performance enhancement training, and also earned a spot in Sherwin's all-inclusive fete, Tobago Love. But other than performing amongst the big names in the industry, these artists are actually seeing the bigger picture for the island.
In terms of tourism, it should be, in years to come, I think that it will help to heighten tourism in Tobago. It will help to create a lot of careers for a lot of young, talented people in Tobago, because Tobago, everybody knows, full of talent. Besides that, livelihood and entertainment-wise, Tobago, it seems like Tobago now started to grow a music industry. And this step is just like one of those steps that make it visible.
The winners are sponsored for the year by the Division of Community Development and Culture. I'm Davia Chambers for Let's Talk Tobago.
And it's time to have Your Say, the segment of our program where we hear from you, our viewers. The Division of Community Development and Culture has embarked on a massive exercise to hear from residents across Tobago. They want to hear from the people who use the community centres and youth zones to get their suggestions on how to effectively manage these spaces. This exercise is particularly important because in times past, the residents have been unable to use the centres for reasons that are seemingly baffling to all. So today we're asking, what do you believe is the best management solution to this issue? This is what you said.
You had a competent people, number one. You had a people who I think had the ability to do this. Don't put people who you think are not competent enough to manage these affairs, right? Community center, I think the same thing should go with them, right? You should have proper people, because Trinidad and Tobago is so complicated that you put certain people into administration and they just foul up. And I think we should put, as I said before, competent.
Well, it is a good idea, and I would like to see it managing the right way, so the youth could get more education about what's taking place, and that's about that. Well, once as you're managing something, bring out called good computer, encourage that the children that could come out and go there and learn what they're supposed to learn. And keep away from trouble, you know.
Well, I find in the village council, they share more younger people in the village council, because the old people and really it's doing nothing for the younger generation in Bethany and all these kind of things.
Well, I think they should be managed, the management should be changed at least like every 6 months to 1 year, so that they'll be evaluated properly. And whatever new changes need to be done could be done at that time.
Having the money, everything will be fine. Everything will be fine.
And that's how we bring this week's edition of Let's Talk Tobago to a close. Do remember you can send us your comments to information@tha.gov.tt or visit us at www.tha.gov.tt. Like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Colleen Holder, and on behalf of all of us at the Department of Information, have a safe and enjoyable week. And as we go, we leave you now with some final scenes from the Scarborough Roman Catholic Church.